So, our today's topic is word formation. So, what is word formation itself? This is a creation of a new word. Yes, this is just to the way the creating of a new word. And this is one of the ways. And there are, as we know, there are three ways of creating or enlarging the number of vocabulary. So first is borrowings, second is word formation, and the third is changing the meaning of existing word. Yes, so word formation is also creating a new word. So, and it's a branch of science which studies the patterns on which a language forms new lexical items. So it's a process of forming words by combining root and affixal morphemes. So root, this is the synonym of the word stem. This is the main part of the word. And morphemes are just affixal morphemes. They can be endings. Yes, these are what can we add to the word to create a new word. So next slide. So there are different types of word formation. So at first there are two ways of word formation. We have productive and non-productive ways. So productive ways includes affixation, word composition, conversion, abbreviation, and there is one more also, clipping. This is also just one type of productive way of creating the new word. And that was productive way. And non-productive way includes sound interchange, stress interchange, sound imitation, blending, and back formation. So maybe you have heard this kind of words, but we will look through each one separately. So productive way includes affixation. First is affixation. It consists of adding an affix to the stem or root, so to a definite part of speech. So the main function of suffixation is to form one part of speech from another. For example, it was a noun or it was a verb. It was a verb, for example, the verb teach. Yes, teach. And we add here affix. So to be more exact, we add ending er and suffix er, and it became a noun. It was a verb, teach. We add er, teacher, it became a noun. So this is the main function of suffixation or affixation in general. So, or one more function, there are two functions, yes? The secondary function is to change the lexical meaning of the same part of speech. So it was a verb, teach, yes? And we add prefix pre, and it became pre-teach. Teach also a verb, pre-teach is also a verb. So part of speech hasn't been changed here, but the meaning of the word was changed. So it was a verb, teach, and it became pre-teach. The meaning is changed, but verb remains as a verb. So affixation is divided into suffixation and prefixation. So let's see. Prefixation, we'll start from this. Prefixation is an affixation process that includes adding morpheme at the beginning of the word. So if we add something, just one morpheme, prefix, at the beginning of the word, it is called prefixation process. So there are different types of prefixes. As we know, there are negative prefixes like un, non, for example, unfair, non-stop, or pejorative prefixes that starts with mis, yes, misbehave, prefixes of size, degree, stages. Micro, macro, mini, co, wise. Yes, they show the size, degree, or stages. So prefixes of time or order. Ex-wife, for example, or midnight, preview. So the prefix pre shows the order, for example. Prefixes of number. Mono, if there is one. For example, or poly if there are a lot of. Polysemy, maybe, yes. Semi-detached, for example. Triology, it means three, yes, and others. So this was about prefixation, when we add morpheme or prefix at the beginning of the word. And suffixation, this is when we add morpheme at the end of the word in order to create new word or to change meaning of the word. So there are 5 groups of suffixation, each for different parts of speech. So noun forming, if we add these suffixes, we can form a noun. So er, this is about teacher, yes, dumb, freedom, for example, or ism, nationalism, maybe. So adjective forming, this is able, less, os, maybe capable, yes, or careless, fabulous, maybe famous. So verb forming, eyes, I find, n. So nationalize, identify, broaden, maybe, yes. Adverb forming, ly, word, wise. And numeral forming, as we know, we can create or just use numerals adding by endings teen or t and fold sometimes. That was suffixation. So a first type of productive way of forming the new word, this is affixation. And let's talk about the second type, this is compounding. Compounding, this is when we join 2 separate words to produce one single word. And in this case, 2 separate words don't lose their individual sounds and sometimes individual meanings also. So bookcase. If we take these words as separate, for example, book and case separately, they didn't lose their sound and their meaning. Bookcase, fingerprint, sunburn, doorknob, basketball, or football, maybe. So this is the third type of productive way of forming the new word. Conversion. Conversion, this is when one part of speech just is changed to another. For example, it was a noun, it became a verb. That was a book, it became to book. The meaning is changed, a part of speech is changed, but the word, the sound, maybe pronunciation or spelling is not changed. So this is called conversion. One part of speech became another part of speech. So abbreviation, we all have heard about this type of word formation. Abbreviation, this is when words are shortened or words or word groups are shortened. Yes, for example, professor, it became prof. Fantasy, this is fancy maybe. And abbreviations can be 2 types also. They can be graphical and initial. So graphical, they are AM in the morning, it means yes, IE, that is, or EG, for example, yes, this is example, for example. And initial, when we take just the first or initial letters of the word, capital letters usually, yes, joint venture or BBC, UK, UNESCO maybe. And of course, abbreviation of words consist of clipping of part of a word. So we'll be talking about clipping right now. After abbreviation, there is a clipping. So clipping means reduction, and this is derived from the word reduce. So this is just somehow cutting words. Yes. In this process, a word has more than one syllable reduced to a shorter form. For example, fanatic, fan. Yes. That's next one. This is about non-productive way. So we have talked about productive way. That there was affixation, clipping, abbreviation, conversion, yes, and non-productive way. And this is the first type, blending. This is just similar with the word blender, yes. The meaning is somehow conveyed here, but this is about word formation, of course. So new words are formed from a word group or two synonyms by clipping, just cutting, the end of the first component and the beginning of the second component. So just we take two words, just we take them as synonyms usually, or maybe just from one area or sphere. We take them and we take the end of the first word and beginning of the second word, and we join them together and there is a new word. For example, medical care, Medicare, Spanish English, Spanglish, modulator, demodulator, modem. Yes. So usually new word is created by blending when it's connected with science and technologies, maybe when scientists or people are going to create something new by adding two existing components. Yes, so there was the Spanish language and there is English, of course, and they join these two terms. They try using just mixed language with Spanish and English, and there is new term Spanglish. So back formation. Back formation, this is something like negative derivation. So this is a complex word exists first, then the non-affixed form is derived later. So there was a word with all maybe affixes, morphemes. Yes, there was a complex, complete word, but then it is shortened somehow, and just it just leaves without any affixes. It becomes non-affixed word. So this is called back formation. So there was a word babysitter, and they just cut down the affix er and it became a babysit. Or there was a word editor, it became an edit. The affix or the suffix or is cut here. So sound imitation. So there are two more just terms for the sound imitation. This is onomatopoeia and echoism. So onomatopoeia, this is just one stylistic device also. This is will be in your stylistic subject, and sound imitation. This is when words coined by. This is when the words beauty are made by imitating different kinds of sounds. So, in order to give name, or just in order to name this process of sounds, maybe of making sounds of maybe animals, birds, human beings, or inanimate objects, just people start to name this process by its sound. For example, dogs bark. So in order to describe the process of barking the dog, maybe we had to say people had to use or used to use the word wow, maybe, yes. The dogs were wowing, maybe, wow, maybe, yes. But then later there was a word, there appeared a word bark in order to describe this process. So right now we say dogs bark, or the dog is barking, yes? And cocks can cock a doodle do, or maybe ducks just they quack, yes? And cats they meow. And these are all words which can be verbs here by sound imitation. They became a verb. Or cows, they move. For example, we can say cows are moving. Yes? So, sound imitation, stress interchange. Stress interchange, this is when the stress of the word shifts from one place to another place. In this way, we can also create or formate a new word. So, maybe just conduct, yes, maybe present, yes, frequent, maybe, yeah. So present, this is just a gift for a birthday or for a special occasion. Or present, this is to show something. So when the stress is shifted, when the stress is changed, the meaning of the word is changed. And sometimes part of speech also is changed, yes, here. So that was all of our presentation.